Now, this is the story of Noah and the ark. And as we'll see, an ark is the name of a very, very, very large ship. In any case, the story starts long ago when the families descended from Adam and Eve began to grow. The number of people on the earth began to increase. The Lord looked down, and rather than being happy at this, he saw how great the wickedness of all the people had become, and that the tendency of their hearts was only for evil. And you'll see here a picture of a rather evil-looking guy, don't you think? The Lord was sorry that he had made human beings on earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So he said, I will wipe the human race I have created from the face of the earth, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I am sorry that I have made them. But one righteous man, Noah, found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Noah was blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Here we'll see a picture of Noah out in his garden. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I'm going to destroy them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it and coat it with pitch inside and out. Pitch is like tar. It makes the wood of the ship waterproof. God told Noah the ark was to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Well, that sounds pretty big, but really, do we know how big it was? Well, I looked it up, and a cubit, even though we don't use it anymore, is at least the length of man's elbow to the tip of his fingers, 1.5 feet, and some people say it was even larger than that. But let's say it's 1.5 feet. If it's 300 cubits long and a cubit is 1.5 feet, can you help me with that arithmetic? It would be 300 times 1.5, which by my arithmetic comes out to 450 feet. That's pretty big. And again, 50 cubits wide would be 75 feet, 30 cubits high, 45 feet. God also told Noah how to design the ark. It said it was to have a roof, a door in the side, and a lower, middle, and upper decks. So Noah and his family set to work at building the ark. And here we can see a picture of them at work. You also see a group of people talking to Noah. Don't you think that they thought it a little strange to be building such a large ship out in the middle of the desert where there was basically no water anywhere to be seen? They probably thought that again, it was a little strange. Well, they asked Noah what he was about, but all he could tell them was that God had instructed that the ark be built. The Lord told Noah, 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made, but I will establish a covenant with you. And a covenant is a promise, but it's a very, very solemn and formal promise, as we're going to see. The Lord said, Noah, you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and every kind of creature that moves along the ground. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. So when you think about this, all of these animals, all of this food, I think Noah was probably glad that he built the ark as big as he did. Now, Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Pairs of animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female. came to Noah and entered the ark as God had commanded Noah. And here we can see a picture of all of these animals on their way into the ark. And after the 7 days, the flood waters came on the earth. All the waters of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. The rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. The waters increased greatly, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. The waters rose greatly, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. And here we can see a picture of the ark floating on the floodwaters. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. At the end of 150 days, the water had gone down, and the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. After 40 days, Noah opened a window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find nowhere to perch because there was water over all the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. Noah waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. And here we see Noah and the dove and the olive leaf. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number on it." So Noah came out, together with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives. All the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground and all the birds, everything that moves on the land, came out of the ark, one kind after another. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease to exist." Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. I now establish my covenant," there's that word, a solemn promise, "my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth." And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant I am making with you and every living creature. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant, my promise between me and you. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. And here, as you can see, is the rainbow, God's covenant with us all.